Hey everyone, it's May 14th, 2016 at 6:47 p.m. I officially finished school on Monday. Yay. Yeah, 30 weeks of school, man. AKA 8 months of school. Now I have a 4-month break and I start school again on September 3rd. But that's ages away. So I just kind of wanted to do like a quick recap of the year because all of the anxiety that I had coming into the school year was so immense because of my trans status. I mean, I was freaking the fuck out. Like freaking out. Let's go back. So before I came out to school, before I emailed like the student affairs woman, I was convinced that I was going to be kicked out of school and that they wouldn't want me back because I went there 3 months last year when I identified as female. I went under another name, different pronouns, everything. So I was convinced that as soon as I told them I was trans that they were going to kick me out of school and say, haha, just kidding, we don't want you, bye. So that was a real thing, and I was trying to think of backup plans. I was like, well, maybe I can apply to a different school. Maybe I'll just move to New York and audition. Like, maybe I'll just do this instead of go to school because I really thought that that was what's going to happen. And I delayed starting hormones because of school. I started hormones on July 9th, and I waited taking them because I wasn't sure how school was going to react. And then I had this big epiphany that I thought maybe I'll start hormones once I'm at school. Thinking back, I don't know what that was about, why that would make a difference. I don't know if I was thinking I was going to come out to them like after I got there. I don't know. Like looking back, I don't know what that was about. But, I had the big realization that I was holding off doing something that I needed to do for school. And I realized that I didn't want to look back in a year and saying, I wish I would have started hormones earlier because I was afraid of what school was going to think. And so in July, I said, fuck it. If they want to kick me out, that's fine, but I need to do this for me. And I emailed her shortly before I started T because I remember I told her that I hadn't pursued any medical treatment or anything. But I emailed her and she was incredible. She emailed me back right away and was like, Rylan, like just accepted my new name, everything. Asked me what bathrooms I wanted to use. And it was just like, it was amazing. It was just like love and acceptance from the start. It was really incredible. I'm very lucky that my school is so understanding. And so then the next fear was, what are my classmates going to think? I was petrified. I was honestly petrified of what my classmates were going to think. But even bigger than that was, what is it going to be like / what are my classmates going to think about me playing male roles? That was the biggest fear that I had, honestly, of like, I'm making a big 180 of the types of parts that I was playing compared to what I'm kind of being thrusted into, by my own thrusting, I suppose. But yeah, I was really concerned that if I had to do an intimate scene with a girl, that she was going to look at me like a girl and think that it was like a lesbian scene and that I wasn't going to be taken seriously and that people were just going to like think I was gross and perverted and weird. And that, like, no one was going to want to talk to me. And that I was just going to be, like, this lonely little loner. And, like, for the most part, that wasn't the case. But just everyone was so loving. I took a really big risk. And on the first day of orientation, I stood up in front of everyone. And I wrote a speech. And I had it memorized. And I just said, I'm Rylan. I'm transgender. I'm going to be using the male restroom, and I go by he, him, and his pronouns. And nice to meet you is pretty much what happened. And that was like one of the scariest things I've ever had to do, because like these people don't know me. I don't know them. This is literally a room of strangers that I just got in a room with like a half hour before. And the woman that like introduced me was like, we have a student that would like to come up and talk to you. Like he, has something to say. And she's already using male pronouns. And I was like, oh God, like she's blowing my cover here. Like, what are people going to think? Like, they're going to be like, why is this girl saying like, what? And, it was really amazing. And so I had the chance to play male roles the whole semester because I am a male. So I'm going to play male roles like that. I hate it when people ask me that. They're like, well, are you going to play female roles? No, I'm not a girl. Like, what? No. So, suffice it to say, all of my anxiety and fear and pure panic was for nothing because it all turned out fine. It all turned out fine. I given the circumstances of being assaulted 5 days into the school year, I'd say I did a pretty good fucking job. I kept my shit together for the most part, minus a stint in the hospital, but for the most part I kept my shit together. And yeah, it's been a crazy year. I've grown so much as a human being. I'm not in any way the person that I was when school started. I mean, and that's not all to do with school. Obviously, that has to do with my assault too. But I'm really excited for the summer to continue to grow. I think this is my summer to really focus on me and what I need as a human being now that I have like this big stress out of my life. I am focused on getting in better shape physically and mentally. I need to start taking some serious strides to love myself more because, I can't look for validation in other people. That is not good when you're an actor if you're constantly looking for other people for validation. This is a hard fucking business and there's a lot of rejection. And if you can't be secure in yourself that you have talent and that you're good enough, then like leave. Find something else to do because you're going to get fucked and you're going to end up hating yourself. Like, this is not... And it's funny because actors are like really insecure. Like, I feel like all of us like hate ourselves. But like, this really is the business where you have to have a thick skin and really believe in what you're doing and be sure that this is what you want to do. So I'm working on the part where I don't need other people to validate me or my talent. I need to just believe that in myself and continue to grow as a performer and as a person. So overall, it's been a crazy year. There's a dead fly on my bed. Gross. Gross! Ugh! Gross. So, yeah. Summer 2016.